Jeremiah Johnson made his way into the mountains, betting on forgetting all the troubles that he knew. The trail was wide and narrow, the eagle or the sparrow showed the path he was to follow as it flew. A mountain man's a lonely man, and he leaves a lot behind. It ought to have been different, but you oftentimes will find that the story doesn't always go the way you had in mind. And Jeremiah's story was that kind. Jeremiah's story was that kind.
Oh, hello. Just thought I'd come out for a wee trip for a night just to experiment with some kit. I've rigged together an 1800s sort of style bushman sort of kit. Quite minimal. Wasn't the best to carry on the way out. It was far too cumbersome, all over the place. I've basically rigged a bedroll together, and I've got a game bag or satchel bag that I've got most of the stuff in, and then that water bottle. So I've got another water bottle inside the satchel bag. So it's just a wee thing I rigged together. I tried to keep it as old as I could. I could have made the kit a lot lighter, using a lot more newer kit. But I'll give it a go, see what it was like to live as a frontiersman in the 1800s, because this is a sort of gear that would be used in the frontiers in America and in Europe and such back in the 1800s. It'd be sort of reminiscent of the Wild West as well. Hence the cowboy hat. I've got my jacket that I've re-waxed. I've got a big slab of rump beef that I'm going to use. Make a wee sort of nettle soup broth with it, and the rest I'll make in the jerky. I'll get my camp set up, and I'll get cracking just before it gets dark. Catch you in a bit. Just got another new axe there. I'll treat myself. It's another Holtford's axe. It's just a smaller one. Got a dangler for it as well, which is pretty cool. So I can hold most of my axes. Figured since The Walking Dead's out, I'd get a axe a bit like Rick's, but it looks a bit more old school. Got a good bit of weight on it to split wood and do all their tasks. Again, they come razor sharp. Going to attempt to make some bannock, quite a bit. I got a new Dutch oven, so I'm going to try that out. So I'm going to need a lot of embers from the fire, so I'm going to use big bits of wood, so they'll get more embers and leave it to burn quite a bit. While the fire's going, I'm going to try and make my nettle sort of soup slash broth. The ground's quite wet as well, so that doesn't help. So some of you might be wondering, what's that in my hands? I'm not injured, it's not bandages, don't worry about that. It's basically, you might see a lot of homeless people used to wear them. Back in the day, you probably see in films. Basically, keeps your wrists warm, and when your wrists are warm, it keeps your hands warm. So it's quite important to keep that bit warm. You can just leave these on. So obviously I wear my gloves as well, but this is just an added little feature that I can use, and I swear by them. Really good bit of kit. You can pick these up off eBay pretty cheap. These are the military issue for Norway deployments, Arctic environments and cold weather environments. So it is going to be a cold night tonight, so I'm going to try and utilise as much as I can to keep warm. I'll go and get myself some nettles, so I've got that now. Good job I brought gloves. Yeah, it wouldn't be the best if you didn't have gloves for this job. So it's a good edible nettles. A few berries coming out this year as well. Still a bit of hawthorn, but Don't really need that today, so 10 past 2. Starting to get dark. Need to work quickly. So I'll just de-stem the nettles now. It's just the leaves I want. Oh, that's probably going to be enough. Going to use a wee cheat technique today. To give me the idea there of getting a shotgun, 2 shotgun shells, empty shells, putting some cotton wool with Vaseline in the middle, keeps it mega waterproof. Obviously that's easy tinder to start your fire. So it's mega easy to get out as well. Some cotton wool dipped in Vaseline. That can stay in your pocket. So that's the Johnny Prep emergency fire starting kit. Right there. Clipper lighter with a shotgun shell and the 2 shotgun shells with the cotton wool in it. So that's my new emergency fire starting kit, so that's handy to have. Some chicken stock, some pepper, some water into the nettle soup. Do the nettles first. I'll start cutting the beef up. It's a good cut. Jerky now. So get this jerky sorted, so nice thin strips of meat. So that's the meat into nice thin cut strips. Start off with some salt. I need quite a bit of salt just to preserve the meat. The pepper, black pepper. Probably start sneezing in a minute. Mixed in there. And then I've stocked up and I've got a new Johnny Prep spice rack. Get loads of that on. It was really good the last time. Right. I'll start getting it in the rack. There we go. And we'll move it to where the smoke is. So that's the food cooking away, and I've got a decent fire on the go. It's going to be a very cold night tonight, so hopefully my bedroll will suffice. So I may be cheating a wee bit, but they may have had it in the 1800s. I've brought my hammock out, slung it onto the haversack, so I'm going to sleep in my hammock tonight, so I'm off the ground and try my blankets. So I'll get to work before it gets dark. I should have put the shelter up beforehand. That should have been the first thing I should have done, really. Got the luxury of being able to experiment today. So yeah, I'll get cracking. So this is the bedroll here that I made. I've got my Dutch oven attached to it. Not the most comfortable thing to carry. Just got an old Lee Enfield sling that I put through the 2 loops. just cheap off eBay. It's a reproduction, but does the trick. Got my 2 utility straps. I've got 2 blankets in this. I've got my Swiss Army blanket and an old British military blanket. And I've got my poncho rolled up in the middle, like so. So this will be even handy just to sit on as well. Got my hammock. I'll get that up first and then I'll stick my poncho up. A bit of rice. Smells quite good already. I'm going to start making my bannock. I'm going to do it in the bag. Just for speed. What I'm going to do is put it in the Johnny Prep spice rack. Some of that there. Ladder water. Just gradual it. Here's another oil that I use for a lot of cooking the knife and such. So the soup's turned out okay. A bit more water maybe, but that'll do the trick. It isn't really soup. It's very, very nice. Quite a good meal. More water required obviously, but made like a sort of risotto, so it's worked out okay. Metal and rice and beef. Probably the rice is expanded, but that's a good bit of carbs for me anyway, that'll keep me warm. So, I'll tend that beef is. I'm mostly done. So as you can see there, the bannock's turned out decent. Turned out quite fluffy, which I'm quite happy with. That Dutch oven's really good for making bannock. Still warm. Quite good. Quite crusty. Nice bread. It'll be -4 degrees tonight, so in order to keep me warm, I've made a very small, long fire. So hopefully that'll create enough heat under the shelter, not too hot for the shelter as to destroy it, but enough to generate some heat to keep me warm. So that's catching nicely, and it'll just burn nice and warm all night hopefully. Morning. I had quite a good night's sleep last night. Temperature got quite low last night, it was freezing. Thankfully I was well insulated. Get a wee fire going and get some oats in the go. And a wee cowboy coffee and maybe get some of the bread down me as well from yesterday. It's still quite cold this morning. Just on what I'm wearing now. Obviously explained earlier about my wristlets. Got on a lamb's wool jumper over the top of my Norwegian fleece, so that's tucked in as well, so that's insulated me quite well. I wore my hood head over. I also had a balaclava on over the top of that. The only issue with that was it kept my face warm, because that was the part of me that was getting the coldest, my nose and stuff. When I pulled it up over my nose, the condensation from my mouth was making it quite wet, so that wasn't the best. Got my trousers on, and underneath I've got a set of long johns on, so that kept me quite warm on my legs. And then on my feet, I've got a set of Arctic socks on. See that there? Over my socks, over my wool socks. So my feet were pretty toasty. Strapped my knife to my belt, took my Bushcraft belt off. Quite a few weird noises during the night. I don't know what it was. I think there was somebody working about the area. It was a bit creepy. Somebody banging sticks. So I put my hammock up. As you can see there, it's quite lightweight. I could do with getting a thicker one. It's just a snug pack one, I think. I should get a DD hammock system. I slept with my jacket over the top of me, which was quite warm. That's really toasty with that inner layer on. And then I put one of the blankets down as insulation. Wrapped that round me, because that's quite thick, the Swiss Army blanket. And then I had the other blanket over the top. The same weight of those two blankets. It'd be easier just carrying the sleeping bag, but they didn't have that in the 1800s obviously. But I can see they must have been pretty cold. It means you have to utilise all your layers, and obviously your fire as well. As you've seen, I done the long fire last night, and that did keep me quite warm. I also burnt those bits of wood there till they were quite red hot, and left them underneath my bed as well, which gave me a bit extra heat. Pretty much survived a nice cold winter night to -4, I believe, maybe lower, with just my game bag and a bedroll, so it can be done. Definitely recommend that Dutch oven. Excellent bit of kit, really strong, versatile. The only thing is you can't use the scarring pad to wash it. You just have to be a bit more careful when you're cleaning it. But yeah, it looks old school as well, like proper through 1800s, maybe even before used them. I watched a wee thing on them on YouTube about the whole history, and they've been around a long time. I've had a wee bit of jerky this morning, it was very tasty, just letting the last little bits dry off. I'll be going back on nothing. I wanted to bring loads back, but it didn't last very long. That's the coffee about done. That's settled. Very cold water in it. So, cup of cowboy coffee. Reopen it. So that put in the cold water into the cowboy coffee once it's done. It's really stopped the amount of grounds in the bottom. Learned that wee trick off Kenny Rollins, I think his name is. He does a lot of cowboy cooking in America. Worth a watch. He's been doing it for years. Really knows his stuff with the coffee. Yeah, it's really worked. Compared to the amount of grounds he used to have, that's rather good. A wee bit more bannock and then smoke my pipe. well, that's all I've got time for today. I'm going to have to head back now. Been a good night out. I've quite enjoyed it. At least I know now that I can live off this sort of equipment like we did in the 1800s. And you know, you've seen there, it's quite cumbersome and it's a bit of a nightmare to pack away. You know, you couldn't really pack this sort of kit away in a hurry. It does take a bit longer. So I can see the problems they would have had back in those days. But yeah, it was fun to do, and it looks like quite an old school setup, as you can see there. A few new items that I used, you know, the poncho. Obviously they would have used canvas back then, but it's the same sort of thing. It's the same sort of thing that would have been in the bedroll. The Swiss Army blanket is quite good. It was very cold last night, and I managed to keep warm. I wasn't completely comfortable, but I was able to survive, you know, use it and survive in a very cold environment. It's a good bit of kit. I mean, I will bring it out again. It's good to sit on, but the best thing is the jacket, because you can just wear it walking about. I can use it as a blanket. It's brilliant. It's waterproof. Really robust bit of kit. You'll have noticed I've been coming out to this site quite a bit, and I do assure you that I go camping in other places, and you will see me. I promise I will do other videos in other places. It's just because it's so close to where I stay, and plus because I was experimenting with this equipment that mightn't be that effective as my usual equipment, what I'm used to. I figured it's better to come out here where I know the area, and it's easy for me to get back if anything does happen. If you know, do go down with a cold weather injury or it's far too cold to stay out, and I know that I'm going to go down with hypothermia or something like that. I will do another video with the equipment at a later date. I've got a lot of new areas that I've discovered, really secluded areas, so I don't want to be going out there with kit that I don't know, because if something happens out there, I'm screwed. I'm probably going to die, because there's going to be no way it's going to come out to be able to help me. But you need that element of it as well. You don't know what you're working with, and that's why you have to hone in your skills a lot better to survive. You know, there's no point being in a comfortable environment, a safe environment, because then you won't work as effectively. I like to have a bit of the danger side. That's me personally. I'm not suggesting you go out and put yourself at risk unless you know what you're doing. But I hope you enjoyed the video. There'll be more to come. And as always, stay safe out there and get out there and enjoy the great outdoors.
The way that you wander is the way that you choose. The day that you tarry is the day that you lose. Sunshine or thunder, a man will always wonder where the fair wind blows. Jeremiah Johnson made his way into the mountains. He was betting on forgetting all the troubles that he knew.